I want to talk about some of the ways that I've been going through life. I've been going through life sort of angry. Well, yeah, very angry actually. And lately, I've been trying to not be so angry, and it's doing a lot on me because I was so very quick to anger, and I was very quick to anger because I feel like I've been nice. I feel like people play with you when they think that you're too nice, and so once that niceness gets played with, then there's a part of me that is showing you like don't mess with me. Like, not because I'm over here chilling and being kind to you and being nice to you means that you should come at me. And so I have two sides of me in terms of either being really nice, cordial, respectful, kind, and genuine, or I'm gonna be a very angry bitch. Yes, I can be a bitch, right? And so lately, the path that I've been walking as it pertains to me, trying to just be better, not for anybody else, just myself. Like, I told you in a few videos back that I dissociated from a lot of things because a lot of things that happened, and I blocked it out. It's like my brain just created this thing where it says, you know what, I'm going to guard you from all of that. In order to help you push through in this life, I am going to just block out certain segments. So sometimes people will talk to me about things and you're like, oh, you remember when you went through, you remember when this happened, or you remember when that happened? And I'm like, no, actually. And so there were so many memories that also included great memories that my mind just like put in a little safety box inside of me. So I took it up on myself where I was like, you know what, hiding from stuff is not really going to be the way that I want to live my life. So I'm gonna go see what's in that treasure chest, you know. And when you open Pandora's box, it'll consume you. So I've been dealing with some of those memories. I've been dealing with a lot of the reasons why I've been so angry, because people should not get that power over you. People shouldn't have that much power to control your emotions. Your emotions should be just, it should be a thing that you decide that, okay, I want to disperse some here, I want to put some there, and whatever. Yes, based on the way that we live our lives and based on the world itself, based on society itself, you don't always have the luxury of choosing when to release certain emotions. Sometimes it just kind of sort of pulls it out of you. For example, going through this world being nice is very taxing, but we've been taught that even if somebody comes at you crazy, be the bigger person, do not respond, do not do this, do not do that. Me, for damn sure, you try playing with me, I'm gonna play back, and when I'm gonna play back, I'm gonna take it there. And now you're gonna be like, oh, I don't give a fuck, because when I was being cool, when I was being nice, when I was being genuine, you took advantage of that, right? So a lot of times we do that, and you go into this little thing with yourself where you're like, okay, I'm done being this, sometimes we go through those things, and even though you're justified in your action or your reaction to something that someone has done to you, people, without research, without trying to get your point of view, they start attacking you as if you've just always been the aggressor. And because of that, sometimes we just shut off that entire nice guy side to us and decide, you know what, I'm gonna be on my fuck shit forever because that's what gets me rewarded. So will I be an advocate for you being selfish and making this life all about you because it's your life? Yes. But I am also a person who understands that being nice also takes you a certain part of your journey, but sometimes you got to put that away and you got to reintroduce yourself so people can back the fuck up a little bit. So I am both of these. I am both of those people. But for a long time, the nice side of me, I pushed it to this certain area inside of me that only a few people will get access to. because based on the things that are happening, nice is not going to get me anywhere. Nice is not going to get the results done. I got to go be mean. I got to go be monstrous. I got to go and do what I can to survive. So now, when I've decided to exit that survival mode to an extent, because I'm sure there are other things coming my way that I'm going to have to survive through. But those things aren't necessarily things that are within my control. Like, for example, if there's a World War III tomorrow, which I do think that there's a World War III going on right now, like, have you looked around you? There's spiritual warfare, and I think that's the main part of the World War III, right? The world is equally flooding and is on fire. There's so many diseases. Take a look, okay? There are many things that we have to survive through. But let's not go down there. Let's do what we always do and pretend that that's not happening, right? Because that's the world that we're in. We like to pretend that we can't see the shit that's happening, and then we're gaslit to believe that what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're experiencing is all in our mind. So there is that. But I digress a little bit. Anyway, if there's a World War III going on that will be highlighted as an actual World War III, we have no control over that. So we're just going to have to figure out a way to survive through it. But for the things that I'm now deciding to live through, yes, I felt like doubling back to get some clarity on things is what I had to do. I'm not saying that that's something that you had to do, but I did dissociate from things that I felt were very important in my journey towards a better me. Hiding from myself, hiding from the things that I've been through, hiding from the things that I've dealt with, hiding from the things that made me me is null and void if I want to grow. Hiding from them is going to hinder my growth because I'll just be pretending like they don't exist. I can't be saying that this is what society is doing and that I want to be better than the information or the lifestyle that is being pushed, but at the same time ignoring the fact that, there's some shit I need to address with myself. This journey is personal for me. This is me versus me. It's not me versus nobody else. It's just me dealing with things. And some of the things, they keep coming up. There are still things that I have PTSD from. And every now and then it finds itself circulating and presenting itself and representing itself in different ways. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I guess hiding from you or deferring you or pretending that you're non-existent is not really going to work for me. You're just going to keep presenting yourself in certain things that I'm doing, and it's just going to feel like every time I take 10 steps forward, I end up taking 20 steps backward. And so I'll always be like just back and forth with it. So I figured, all right, Jade, let me figure out what is this thing that keeps bringing me back to square one. So that's what I'm dealing with. That's why I tapped into what's going on with me. Sometimes in order to go forward, you have to go back a little bit, depending on what it is. I'm not saying that you just want to go back into the past and relive shit. No. But sometimes addressing it, sometimes dragging it to the forefront and being like, okay, I'm going to confront you. What you want? What do you want? What am I not understanding? What am I not getting? What is this? That's the best way to move forward. At least for me. Again, I cannot tell you what works for you. I'm only telling you about myself and my struggles in the event that you might find a similarity and be like, you know what, I've tried it a few ways, but let's see. Jade said that she tried it this way and it worked. I still believe that each one can teach one. But again, I'm not here to influence your decisions. I don't want to be your influencer. I don't want to be your role model. I am just documenting myself trying to heal, because when I was trying to heal and I wanted to see some videos from other people and how they were dealing with it, I rarely found anything that I could relate to. So I'm not saying that you can relate to me. I'm not saying that you want to relate to me, but I'm saying if it is the case where you find that from all of the everything that I've been saying, you can probably create a different thought process for yourself so that your approach can be different, then go for it. Okay, it's just it's life, okay? And we all don't live the same life, but we have similarities as we go through life. And sometimes it's not about the hole that you accidentally fell in. It's about how somebody can probably educate you a little bit on how to get up out of the hole. In the event that further down the road you fall in the next hole and you want to get out, then you can be like, you know what? There's no one here to physically pull me out of this hole. But I remember one time someone was saying, hey, maybe you can try this and you can try that and you get out of the hole. And so that's where I come in. So that's it, okay? So in doubling back to myself, yeah, that was a lot to say at once. But in doubling back and deciding, okay, Jade, let's go figure out this. Let's go. Come on. Let's put your best foot forward. I realized that my best results came when I was angry. But even though it gave me great results, it didn't always make me feel good inside. There are some of the residuals. I still have some residuals from my anger. And I'm like, okay, the anger got me to complete the goal and whatever. But it made some mess along the way that still gives me PTSD. So in dealing with that, here I am sharing it with you. So me being angry made me realize that I went twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 4 times as hard, 100 times as hard for myself, because from the get-go, all I had was myself. All I had was my thought process. People didn't think about things the way that I thought about it. People didn't deal with things the way that I dealt with it. Okay? Some people gave up on themselves. Other people, they inspired me to not give up on myself. And I appreciated that. I didn't see a lot of that. So when I saw it, I was like, okay. Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you get caught up and you're like, man, maybe I should just give up. And then somebody else comes along and unintentionally just, wins. And you're like, shit, I almost gave up. I almost gave up. So in dealing with myself and dealing with my anger, I found out that a lot of the times, or one of the biggest reason why I've been so angry, is because I didn't have that support that helps to fuel you through this life. Like, you can't help that life or society is a certain kind of way. That's not your control. It's a system that you're born into, and you just have to accept that reality. However, you can represent your reality in a different way, but support is a huge part of it. And myself, I did not receive support, the fundamental support, the foundational support. And a lot of that support comes from the people who were supposed to believe in you the most and, at least give you that tool to go through life. And in a way, I'm just like, do I regret it? Do I regret not getting support? Or do I wish I had gotten support? I don't know. I cannot miss something that I never had. I can't. But I spent a lot of time that could have been used, in my opinion, to do other things, trying to figure out the things that I didn't know. I had to be my own support system. I had nothing, zilch. I started with 0. And I don't know if my life would have been better or worse, but I do think that support, it goes a long way, because at least it kind of propels you when you realize that society and the system that you're born into is not going to be changed. That's just the reality here. But if you're intending on not just sticking to the societal norm and creating a world for yourself where it makes more sense, then to me, I do think the basis of foundation is important. I never had that. And I didn't have that because and I don't want to blame my parents here, but I do think that I did not have a mother that showed up, and I didn't have a father that wanted to be there at all. right? There was a time when I was angry at them, very angry. I couldn't even talk to them. I only talk to one right now in life, but I had to reel it in to be respectful, because and this is going to be a very touchy subject for me specifically. I didn't have family, and I know that people downplay family, and sometimes not because somebody's your family means that they're your family. I think one of the tools to go through this life to propel you for whatever might come your way has to deal with getting that support, that push from the people who are supposed to believe in you. And the two core people who are supposed to believe in you is your mother and your father. If nobody else in the world believes in you, I believe that those two people should be the thing, the moment, the life that gets you to progress. But that's not a reality for myself and for a lot of other people that I've encountered along the way. I had to figure it out. I always had to figure it out by myself. And I know you're probably like, girl, don't we all? Kinda, sorta, in our own way. But this is specifically for the people who had no parental guidance, no parental bond, and life was just different for me and for people like me in that regard. I'm not saying that it's my parents' fault for life not working out for me, or for life this, or for life that, but I do believe that when your parents are around a certain kind of way, you will go about things differently. Now, I cannot say who I'd be and what I'd represent if they were around. That's not my truth. They weren't. I think I can't be for sure. I don't know how I would have been with it, but I know how I am without it. I've been angry. I'm not angry at other people. I'm not jealous of other people because they had the two core people who were supposed to set things in perspective for them. But there are people like myself who we did not have the luxury of having people, whether it's your parents or your guardians, looking out for you a particular kind of way. I'm not saying that they need to figure out life for me every step of the way, but I think that fundamental and foundational push would have been everything. I think it would have at least added in a way to have you properly geared up, or give you insights on what may come or what is to come. But there are people like myself who we never had that. So you go through life with this fire, and I can't say if it made me better or if it made me worse, but I will say it made me angry. And in making me angry, I had two outcomes in front of me. I had the outcome of, well, I'm just angry, so fuck it all. I'm not gonna do shit, whatever. This is my life. I'm just gonna accept it. And it gave me the other fire where I'm just like, fuck it all, okay? This is what is presented in front of me, but I'm gonna ensure that I work my ass off and be better for myself. And that's the option I went with. That's the path that I went with, where my fire, I allowed it to be the thing that propels me to never giving up. No matter how many times life whooped my ass, no matter how many times I got knocked the fuck out, I got back up and I was like, okay. I don't know if that was just my ego saying, you can't flatline here, you can't fail here, or that was just the fire saying, listen, okay, some people, they don't want you to win, and some people, they think that this is it for you. So are you gonna tap out, or are you gonna like get up? And I chose to get up, and so I'm here. And then I look at it and I decided that family does mean a lot. However, family doesn't mean that it has to be your blood relative. Some of them, sure, it's cool, But I created a family for myself. I created my own support system. And it wasn't easy getting there because I find it hard to trust. I find it hard to let my guards down. But there were some people I met along the way who deserved it to an extent, because I'm not going to act as if I trust anybody 100%. I still don't. However, I still applied a level of trust towards them where I'm just like, okay, it's okay. And I did it with them, and they're my family, and I will ensure that I'm always there for them, because they don't even understand that in this moment, instead of them walking away from me, or instead of them saying I ain't got time for you, they decided that I'm gonna open up myself to you. I'm gonna open up my resources, and I'm gonna just there were people who the first time meeting me extended a certain kind of warmth and support to me. It was so foreign to me. It was very foreign. I was like, ain't no way you don't know me from nowhere. And this is your first time meeting me. And you're just out here being this level of kind to me, this level of open to me. It blew my mind. And they don't even understand how much it solidified a forever spot in my life for them. And even after getting to know me, because they've proven themselves time and time again, and I'm just so not used to that, so I make it hard for them. Society has also taught me, life and things that I've endured and encountered had also taught me not to trust, not to be too welcoming, not to be kind, not to do all of that, because that never got me enough results. Like, it got me some, but again, I barred it for so long. I put it away. I pushed it to the far corners of my soul, and I decided I'm through with that. But then I met some people, and these people, they just represented something else that I wasn't even looking for, because I didn't even know that it was so possible. Because again, I've just been so angry, going about things, always having my own back. So when somebody pops up and they just have your back without knowing you, without knowing anything about you, then yeah, it kind of throws you for a loop. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is there's nothing wrong with putting it out there or pushing yourself to figuring it out. I didn't receive what it was like to just have somebody in your corner from the get-go, and I was very angry at that. And my anger caused me to figure it out. And figuring it out is beautiful, okay? It's a game changer. But a little support also helps. And I met these incredible people along the way who they didn't have a price tag or a favor attached to them supporting me. And it was so weird but refreshing, because I'm just like, why are you here? Like, I was always wondering why the person needed to show up for me. I never had that, so it was just very odd to encounter. It was just very weird to have somebody wanting to be a part of that, and somebody being a part of that with you and for you. And I realize now that as I am working on myself, I don't have that anger anymore. I'll conclude it by saying this. I doubled back to deal with myself because I didn't want to continuously beat up on myself, and I didn't want to continuously make the same mistakes and just kept myself in this cycle of destroying things that even were good for me. So I dissociated from some things. Throughout my dissociation, I got to where I needed to be, okay? I was able to figure out my life, figure out what I wanted, figure out the steps to take. But though I was satisfied, there was still a part of me that felt like something needed to be done with the recurring nightmares, if you want to call it that. But the constant bumps along the way that had me, probably making the same decision, probably re-entering the same situations, I needed to deal with that. So I decided, okay, let's see what I dissociated from that was causing these issues, because I'm trying to be a better me. I'm trying to heal. I know you're probably tired of hearing that word, but that this was personal to me. So when I went back into those memories and those moments that I did away with, I found some beautiful things. I also found the source of my anger was because I faced neglect. I didn't have the support. I didn't have the push from the two people who are supposed to be fundamental in your journey. I mean, it took two people to bring you here. So you would think that when you're here, then they will set you out properly. But I did not have that. I didn't have that. And so I wasn't angry because everybody else around me had it or whatever. No, I was just angry because I'm like, damn, y'all came together to do the dirty. And that was the result of the dirty that y'all did together. And y'all just left the rest on me and be like, well, you're here, so figure it out. So that's what I was angry at. Along the way, though, of figuring it out, I garnered support from some very important people that I met. They just allowed me to experience what it's like to receive love genuinely and care and support and all of those beautiful things that sometimes we take for granted. And I was like, okay, it gave me enough strength to deal with the parts of me that were trying to destroy the way that I have grown. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to blame my parents. I don't know what it's like, though, to have that parental support from the get-go. I don't necessarily I can't miss what I never had, but I will say that it does play a very important role with the way that we go about life sometimes. And sometimes it's a great disdain, sometimes it's a great disadvantage, sometimes it takes away from who we are, because we're just like, well, them people never cared, so why the fuck should I? And you cannot control the actions of people. You can't have it in your head tearing you apart that they never wanted to be in your corner. That's just their thing that they have to deal with. And yes, I know it's affecting you. It affected me too. But it propelled me. It propelled me to always have my back. It propelled me to always be there for myself. And sometimes, yes, it was draining because you're just like, damn, I just want a second to breathe. I just want a moment to myself. Why do I have to fight 100 times as hard just to get to where I want to go when it could have been so easy with this, that? Maybe it could have been. We don't know. We never had it. We're assuming. We don't know who we would have been with it. We probably wouldn't go as hard. We probably would have still gone as hard for ourselves. The thing is, we have no control over what somebody else does. But we allowed other people to be there, even on the days when we weren't the best to deal with. And I'm pretty sure those people, they can tell you, there are days when I question everything about them, when I push them to the limit, when I test their loyalty, and they're just like, damn, Jade, I know that you're so messed up here because you think everybody's out to get you, but we just want to be here. And it puzzled me, because I'm just like, what do you mean you just want to be here? What do you mean you just want to support me? What do you mean that you want to care and love? What's the catch? There was absolutely no catch. But I did learn from them. And I did learn that going forward, I want to bask in this moment. I want to be a part of the moment. And I don't want to just jump from goals to goals to goals. I want to experience it. So I'm hoping for you that you can too. So maybe you're not ready. Maybe you do not have enough strength to double back and see what the source of your anger is and the source of your pain. But whenever you need to, I hope these videos help you through it. And I hope that you tell those people, if there are people, thank you. Okay? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I did not know I did not know what it was like to really just have family other than what I'm born into. But I met family along the way that is not related to me by blood, but they have time and time again showed me what it's like to hold a title like that. And maybe I can never fully repay them. They never asked me to. But I hope that one day I can show up for them in a way that is monumental for them, as it was monumental for me, without realizing that it was monumental for me. So yeah, as you journey with yourself, as you heal with yourself, you're gonna have to hold yourself accountable. You're gonna have to double back to some things that you don't want to deal with, okay? You're gonna have to face the uglies, but there's some beauty there too. Because, I was able to tap back into some things that were very meaningful to me, actually. And I was like, damn, I forgot about this. And so it's like a little treasure chest kind of thing. And I like that I'm reaping the rewards. I'm not saying be mad at your parents or blame them for anything, but acknowledging the role that they played, acknowledging the parts that were not necessarily pretty to you, it doesn't make you less than. It doesn't mean that you're trying to tear them down. It's just you walking in your truth and making them aware that, listen, I don't need your apology. I don't personally need your apology, but you did affect me in a way, type shit. I'm not going to fuel up your engine so that you can go and tell them that, hey, because of you, my life was this and that and that and that and that. No. You do have parents who are not going to listen to you. It doesn't matter. They don't want to hear it. They look at you like you're forever the child and they're the parent, even though they're not acting like an adult. And that's okay. But you know what? You're important. What you feel, what you think, what you do is also important. And if after you've stated that, hey, this is why I am the way I am, and this is how I've been going about things due to this and due to that, and they look at it like you're trying to challenge their authority, or they're looking at it like you are ungrateful because they provided a roof over your head, because let's face it, a lot of parents think that because they give you the basics like food, clothing, and shelter, then you are forever indebted to them, and nothing else that you might complain about or nothing else that you might state really means anything to them. Everything else that you state outside of food, clothing, and shelter is null and void. They look at you pretty much like, oh, you had it all, you had it made. Their actions or reactions should in no way, shape, or form be a thing that affected you because you had food, clothing, and shelter. And I know that's very common, but you say your piece and you let it go. You did well. I am proud of you. Work on yourself a bit at a time. Deal with yourself a bit at a time. It's no rush, but you can't leave yourself behind again. You cannot allow things to consume what you have built. I get that, but you cannot allow yourself to just remain a shadow to who you are to the core. Okay? So, thank you so much for listening. Please be proud of yourself. Please understand that you're doing, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is pouring. Like, it just started. So I'm going to go check on my little flower garden. It started pouring heavily, so I don't want the audio to be all messy and noisy. For some reason, that likes to happen every time I decide to record. Every time I've decided to record, like, something just always comes and decide, I'm going to make it very difficult for your listeners. So I'm going to go. But thank you so much for listening. You've got this. You always knew what to do. Stop second guessing yourself. Deal with yourself at your own pace. Don't live up to anybody else's expectations. You are not living to please people. Be pleased with yourself. Okay? Okay. And family doesn't have to be your blood. And for the people who stuck around and helped you through everything, give them a hug or tell them thank you. Don't be too mushy now, okay? Don't be too mushy. You still be gangster, okay? Still be rough and tough with your Afro puff. Don't go out there being all soft now, okay? And mushy. Still be tough. Still hold your gangster down. Still pop your shit, but let them know, like, listen, Linda, thank you. So yeah. Anyway, no amount of money has ever bought an ounce of time. Okay? Spend it wisely. Share it wisely, and make sure that you take yourself along the journey, no matter what it is and no matter where you go. Okay? So I'll talk to you next time. All right? Bye.